Hey yo, I'm Fila, and welcome back to another Seventh Haven video. In this video, we're going to be showing you guys the build that we will be going by the end of New World. It is a max intelligence glass cannon build. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video projections. First things first, we know how strong the other weapons are in this game, and we know that all the other weapons are really, really strong. Like the spear, the hatchet, the great axe, like the hammer, all those things are really strong. But as we looked around when we first started the game, and whenever we was playing the beta, we just felt like it was just so basic for us to use. So we wanted to do something different. We've always been mages in the other games. I played a little bit of ESO, and I've always been a mage in that game, and I really, really loved it. So when I heard about them having ice staffs and ice gauntlets and fire staffs in this game, I was like, I gotta make this work. I have to make this work. But I found it to my surprise whenever we started the beta, not a lot of people was doing it like whatsoever. You would see a life staff here or there, but you wouldn't really see too many ice gauntlets or even fire staffs, and I couldn't figure out why. And whenever I did, create a new character and play with the other builds or the other weapons, I noticed that those weapons are just so strong. They have gap closers, they have bleed effects, they have speed ups, movement. Like they have so much stuff. Like they're just overloaded type things. So I was just like, I don't want to really do that. I still want to make the mage thing work. And how bad can it really be? So after playing the beta for an extensive amount of time, I realized that you can make it work, but it is a late game scaling build. It is not going to give you the early game power that some of these other weapons are going to give you. And that does suck. A lot of people get turned off by that. They just, they want to see their build come online as early as possible. I don't really mind. I'm cool with grinding, getting my gear up, getting my level up, and just making sure that this is going to be the hardest hitting build in the game. Me and Bass got together and we was just like, let's max out intelligence. So we're gonna show you guys what the actual build looks like. Kicking this thing right off, we're gonna talk about the two weapons because you only get two anyway. You only get three skills, and the three skills that we feel like you should be running if you're gonna be running the build that we are gonna do is Ice Storm. You should be running Ice Shower, and you should be running Entombed. Going over these just briefly, Ice Storm is a range attack that deals weapon damage, and it'll slow enemies within a 5 meter radius. A frosted area, of course, and it's got a 5 second duration. It costs a decent amount of mana, in my opinion. The cooldown is kind of hefty, but it is a really good tool to not to catch people, in my opinion, but to like block people off. People are going to be running headfirst into you, and you can throw this down, and when they get into it, you can amplify the damage that you do to them, and they'll be slowed at the same time. There's also a passive over here that increases the damage. The increases the movement speed that you get while you're in a frosted area. Sorry, and you'll just get a 10% movement speed buff while you're in this area. You want to get Weakening Gust. It increases the damage by 10% for 30 seconds to enemies that's in it. If they're below 50% health, that's just a flat increase if they're below 50% health. Ice Storm mana is decreased by 80% whenever you're at full mana. We do have a video on how to get unlimited mana pots. If we have a video on it, we're doing it. You should be doing it too. You'll be above 80% mana a decent amount of time. So you literally just get the cost decrease for your Ice Storm. Punishing Storm, you increase the damage by 10% for each person that's in it. In a war setting, there's going to be a lot of people that you're going to be able to catch in it. So you just straight up increase the damage that you're going to be doing. And before they know it, if they stand in it for 1, 2, or even 3 seconds, it's just going to be hitting like a truck, honestly. The passives that you should be getting is on the left side in Ice Tempest is Critical Rejuvenation. You want to get Gathering Storm, Critical Frost, Cold Reach, Energized Critical, Heavy Freeze, and Ultimate Chill. Ultimate Chills, the ice abilities chill target increasing ice damage by 35%. This includes the ice shower. This includes the heavy attacks or the light attacks that you're going to be doing, and the ice storm. Of course, it's just really really awesome because you just straight up get a 35% damage increase in general. Um, like I said about Crit Frost, you get that movement speed buff, and Entombed. You entomb yourself, and it'll regen. You pretty much it has a health bar and you'll regen your mana completely. If you're in an open world setting, then you pretty much just use this whenever you you have to cast it every single spell that you could, and you still need mana some kind of way. You should have food taken and stuff like that. But if you still need mana, this will get your mana up considerably. As soon as you use it, it just um, gives you like a burst of mana back, and it's just really really awesome. If somebody just so happen to be swarming you, if there's a bunch of people around you, you can break out of it, and it'll do a little bit of damage, and it will push them back. Or you can just kind of side stuff out of it, and it won't cost mana. You want to upgrade this, and you want to use Strengthen Tomb, increase the defense for 3 seconds when you get out of it, and it'll cleanse all debuffs whenever you're entombed. Which somebody put bleed on you or fire or any of those things, it'll just straight up cleanse that. This is awesome too. Also, like if you just so happen to get caught with one of those gravity pulling things, entomb yourself, and it'll just nullify that damage. Ice Shower is it summons a shower of ice that creates a frosted area about 1 to 5 meters. Enemies that enter that will be stricken with a powerful frostbite, and it'll root them for about 1 second. You can't sprint in it, they can't dodge in it, and the slow is increased by 50% whenever they get out of it. This is a really, really good tool because people are going to be running headfirst into you. Lay this down, it's like a trap almost. They have to run straight through it, or they got to inconvenience themselves and kind of move out the side. But regardless, you'll be able to kite the hell out of them. And during shower, you want to go ahead and just upgrade this completely. You increase the duration from, what is it, 4 seconds to 7 seconds. That's awesome. Any ally or yourself, you'll get a 25% speed boost for 2 seconds whenever you enter the ice storm. Like I said, you can use this to run away. I would just like throw it in front of you and then run through it and then expect them to run through it too. You'll get the speed buff. They'll get slowed and rooted. Win-win situation. And then Frostbite applies Ren, reduces the damage that they take. Again, just a flat damage buff for you. That's all for the Ice Gauntlet. Moving over to the Fire Mage. There's an honorable mention skills up in here. We don't feel like it's worth it, honestly, in a Pyromancer. Fire Mage is where it's at, in my opinion. Just go ahead and max out everything over here. For the 3 skills, you're going to get Ice Pillar of Fire, you're going to get Meteor Shower, and you're going to get Fireball. Meteor Shower is a pretty good skill, especially for open world 50v50. I think that's what it is. You do have to channel the spell, so you do have to stand in one spot, but it rains down like just hell, just meteors, and it does a decent amount of damage in my opinion. Late game, whenever you put 300 points into intelligence, does way more damage than people think in my opinion. And when you level it up, you'll get the initial hit, giving you mana back. Like I said, if you're hitting 50 plus people, that's a lot of mana to get back. You'll get grit while you're casting it. Like I said, it is a channel skill, so you do have to stand in one spot just to use it. If somebody just so happen to be trying to knock you out of the animation or anything like that, this will give you grit, and it'll be hard to knock you out of the animation. It's stagger resistance. Judgment Helios, all the hits deal 25% more damage, so just a flat increase after the first couple hits that they get hit with. Going over to Pillar of Fire, the targeted spells. If you ever play League of Legends, it's like a brand um, pillar, and it does a decent amount of damage for a little bit of cost in my opinion, and a low mana cooldown actually. You want to level this up with first strike. It does 40% more damage to people at full health. You just burst people; they won't even expect it. And then Arson Advantage, you'll get 10% of your mana back whenever you hit people. You use this a decent amount of time. Like it is off cooldown a decent amount of time. And in a war setting, you will be hitting a lot of more people with this. And you'll just, I don't know, it just everything just kind of flows well with it because it's already 10 seconds. You can get fire restoration and heavy attacks reduce your staff cooldown. Whenever you just heavy attack just a couple times, you get a little bit of time off that already. Um, there was another one somewhere over here. I want to say, not sure where it's at, but regardless, you just get all these. Spell focus, like every single one of these actually. Spell focus, heavy attacks restore your mana. You get mana back, of course. You want to get singed. Whenever you get a critical hit, it'll put them on fire. I already talked about fire restoration. Whenever you're above 50% mana, what you should be, usually you will be, you get a flat increase of 10%. You will be with all these other things that's just giving you mana back. You'll be above 50%. You'll always have that 10% in power. Clear casting, if you haven't taken damage, 10% more damage. Okay, that's 20% right there, just off rip. Spell Slinger, this is an awesome ability. Your abilities gain 15% chance to crit. Your abilities can crit. This is awesome because they already do a decent amount of damage, especially with all the intelligence that you're gonna have. a crit on one of these could be dealing up to 2,000, 3,000 damage. Like it will be insane. You want to get flare. Your heavy attacks no longer consume mana. This is awesome because heavy attacking in general is just going to be your bread and butter for the fire mage. And then prophet of a god, whenever you're holding it, you get a critical strike chance of 20%. Heavy attacks, just everything. That's just these are just awesome skills. Speaking of bread and butter, for the fire mage, runes of Helios is the main thing that you want to get for this build. So casting a fire spell places a 2-meter rune on the ground, increases your spell damage by 30% while you're standing in the room. It'll last for about 7 seconds. The cooldown is about 30 seconds. This is just really awesome. Your bread and butter. You want to cast your spells whenever the rune gets on the ground. Go ham casting these spells. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be bursting people. You get a 30% increase on damage whenever you just burst whenever you have the rune, and the rune lasts for a decent amount of time in order for you to use these, especially if you're heavy attacking a lot, keeping your mana up, refreshing those cooldowns. This is just amazing, and like I said, the cooldown is only 30 seconds. Definitely your bread and butter. Well, that's it for these. Let's jump right into the gear. Now, when we talk about gear, we quite literally mean every single piece of gear that you have has to have some kind of form of intelligence on it. When it comes to the ice gauntlet, though, you kind of want to have intelligence and focus on it if you can get it. You gotta have a good gem on it. The gems are really important too. Realistically, you want to have the keen perk, which increases the critical chance, and you gotta have enchanted. Those light and heavy attacks would do a ton of damage. It's kind of harder to find the ice gauntlets in my opinion, but whenever it comes to the fire staffs, it's a little bit more versatile. I feel like you find these a lot more for some reason. And like I said, these ones on the screen are just kind of examples, but you can definitely get one that's really close. You want to have that enchanted. You gotta have intelligence on it, no doubt about it. You want to go on that intelligence. You don't have to have mortal life still. That's just a stand-in. Realistically, you want to have the king perk anyway. There's a little wiggle room right there as far as that, but you cannot pass up on the intelligence, guys. Not even joking. The intelligence is super important. You can kind of dual stat a little bit with the constitution and the focus. And speaking of intelligence, max intelligence. That's super important. That's the whole point of this build. I don't know if you guys thought I was joking. Glass cannon to the fullest, and you want to try and get the first node of focus and the second node of focus. I'm sorry, the first node of focus and the first node of constitution. Constitution, getting that first node is important because it gives you your stamina, not your stamina, your potions are 20% stronger. Your mana potions are what you're mainly going to be using. Health pots if you really need to. We have videos on how to get unlimited health pots and unlimited potions. Getting that first node is important for that. And for your constitution, you get a 10%, I want to say, increase to your mana regeneration, which is really huge for mages in general. It's not that hard to get those, but you can get those. And that's pretty much the main thing for this build. I hope you guys enjoyed. Till the next time, I'll see you guys later.